Hey there, Michelle Saxman here, ready to share some time with you with Jesus Calling on July the 11th. Worship me only. Idolatry has always been the downfall of my people. I make no secrets about being a jealous God. Current idols are more subtle than ancient ones, because today's false gods are often outside the field of religion. People, possessions, status, and self-aggrandizement are some of the most popular deities today. Beware of bowing down before these things. False gods never satisfy. Instead, they stir up lust for more and more. When you seek me instead of the world's idols, you experience my joy and peace. These intangibles slake the thirst of your soul, providing deep satisfaction. The glitter of the world is tiny and temporal. The light of my presence is brilliant and everlasting. Walk in the light with me. Thus you become a beacon through whom others are drawn to me. Well, that's a good one for today. The false gods of today are very, very different than the false gods, because back when Paul was writing about this, even in the Old Testament, there were so many other gods, and it was a pagan nation, and there was a god of the sun and a god of the rain and a god of the harvest and a god of reproduction, and so many false gods. And today it's really about where we align our identity is where the idolatry lies. So if our identity is in the status, our job, if our identity is in our wealth and accumulation, if our identity is, I think that there are people that they really have to have a really nice car. Their house might be nothing, but they have to have a really nice car. But I'll also say in this other book that I'm reading is that until you know your idols, you truly do not know yourself. And so the things that you're placing, and as I would say, barriers to your relationship with God. And in the Bible, there's a story, I wasn't planning on talking about this, sorry, but there's a story in the Bible where a very wealthy man comes to Jesus and says, what is it that I have to do? And he was a very, very wealthy person. And so at that time, wealth actually meant that you had a blessing by God. So you must have been a very moral person to receive all the blessings. But this person is asking because he still has some sort of lack, something that's still missing. And so God says to him, to give it all away. And that is easier to get through, the camel to get through the eye of a needle than for the rich to make it into heaven. But actually what that comes down to is it's difficult for people to follow the law so intently when they miss the relationship with their Heavenly Father. And so if you cannot give away your wealth, and then that is your idol. And that's what Jesus was saying, give it all away and follow me. And the man couldn't do it, which meant he took his identity toward his money and not his Heavenly Father. So it's the role, the center. What is your idol? What is my idol? And until we know our idols, we don't really know ourselves. And those can just be little tiny things. And so I'll say, when you get that little tweak or twinge, when something's kind of plucked your nerve, take it to God and investigate it a little tiny bit. Because I think we're called to abundance, and money is not a bad thing. So it's not about idolatry being chasing money, because we can do so many great things and so many missions and causes. So it's not about the money. So not all of our idols are the example that I kind of shared, because it can be status, self-aggrandizement, people, possessions. So take a look at your idols. Is there anything that's causing a stumbling block and taking you off center from keeping our Heavenly Father as the center in our identity? Y'all have a super blessed day. Sorry for the length. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.